were some of your takeaways today?
Actually, man, it kind of revealed a little bit to me as far as this receiving core we had this game looked tremendous.
They did.
I think you go into the game with these guys, and we were talking about these guys, different ones all season, right? You know, we were speaking about Richie James being a guy that can come in, get you some yards. He was solid today. McCole Hardman, I said that's where we need to go get him from the Jets. McCole showed why that was important to have him down here. I mean, he was catching passes and just making plays. Justin Ross going up there getting the ball, you know, elevator catch. I'm telling you, man, I was like, yo, this, if anything, the wide receiver group was promising to me. I'll be honest with you. I think you go into this game with these guys right here that you add everybody else up to it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Rashee Rice is going to be your number one, but everybody else, that right there, the other three, that's the guys you got. Then Watson comes in, let him get a little shine. MVS get a little shine and whatnot. But to me, that revealed a lot. That's what stood out to me was the wide receiver group running great routes, catching the football really well, getting some positive yards. Perrine looked good. He looked good out there.
He did.
Yeah. Blaine Gabbert getting some runs, man. Look, that joker was, you know, old legs is getting it, wasn't he?
His legs look better than his arm, I'll tell you that much.
But sometimes it has to happen like that. You know, sometimes you got to show up whatever it takes. I think, to be honest, man, it was a great win because you want to go into the playoffs, like I said, on a high note. And these guys played their tails off. Deion Bush was hitting everybody out there, man.
I know.
Knocking some suckers up today.
I was not surprised that when they said that Chief player was down, I was like, it's got to be Bush, dude. He's been hitting guys like he's full speed going on special teams.
And everything that was moving, he was hitting.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
he was hitting people like someone had a family member of his like behind the stadium at knife point or something, dude. He was like his life dependent on it.
Yeah, for real.
I was like, man. I mean, man.
Yeah, Susan a couple times was like
Cam Jones was laying the legs, was all over the field.
Cam Jones, yeah.
Connor looked good out there, was all over the place. I mean, we had active dudes out there. I was gonna say something to your receiver comment too. As a receiver in this game, we're aware of the problems. You know they are, obviously. Yeah. You got to know that, you know, they say guys are auditioning maybe for next season. They're auditioning for playing time in the playoffs, right?
Now. Yeah. And the thing is, because you've seen such a discrepancy in like how guys are actually, you know, performing all year, this, I think, is just an opportune time to show what you can do. And they showed it. I mean, a very healthy McCole Hardman changes things. That's why I was saying it was important to go get a guy like that who knew the offense, who knows how to get open, who can make plays with his legs. I mean, he was a pivotal part of what we was doing before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, it just made sense to go get a guy like that. And then when you see Justin Ross out there running routes, you know, because every time he was in, I was sitting back there just watching him. I was watching the routes he was running, how he looked. He looked pretty good. And so when you see a guy go up there and go get the football, I mean, that perks your eyes up a little bit. Like
it pops. He pops.
Absolutely. Like, okay, we ain't seen a whole lot of that happen this year.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody climbing a ladder to go get the football.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one we've seen this year was CEH in the end zone. He was only going to go up there and go get a ball like that.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad Hardman had a chance to like really, really play and get back into the swing of things before we get back into the, you know, the real games.
Man, that's important, man, especially for a guy like him, a caliber of a player that we have, who knows the offense that Patrick knows, to kind of get those reps, man. You know, he's got the rest. He's got fresh legs. So it's almost like he's just starting the season out because he's been out. He hasn't been playing.
Yeah.
Same thing with Richie James. Same thing with Justin Ross, right?
Yep.
These guys are fresh guys, fresh legs. And they could give us what they gave us today. Come on, man. I mean, I love that. To me, that was the most promising part I've seen all game was those guys showing up.
Since Hardman's been on the team, you know, like seems around every year we get around to playoff time, that's where he's kind of nicked up. it might be one of the first times in his career where he's going to be pretty healthy going into the playoffs, and that's definitely going to help and boost our offense as you saw today. I mean, he's got juice, man.
Man, that changed the entire dynamic. To be honest with you, because then all of a sudden now, because you have a guy that's going to beat you one-on-one. I mean, he ran around the slant route on the slot corner, right? The nickel guy, and the dude had to almost grab him by his waist because Hardman beat him so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about it. That's the element he gives you. And so when Patrick has a weapon like that on the outside, then, okay, if you decide you want to double Kelsey like you've been doing all season, we got a guy that's going to be able to hit you one-on-one, okay? If you're going to be able to catch the football now, and not only him, but Rasheed Rice. Now you got a guy who's actually a speedster, who's got the speed to catch the football. Maybe not as fast as Tyreek Hill, but still has that ability, to make things happen with his legs. But it was good just to see him catch the football with his hands and stuff, man. He did a good job today.
Yeah. He stuck out.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
And you need to do that, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's like playing in that. It's like one of your better players playing in like the last preseason game, and he's playing a little longer than he should. You're like, okay, you like a first or second rounder, you should be sticking out in this kind of game, and it's nice to see him stick out too. And we only had 3 receivers catch the ball today, so
really, interesting.
Yeah, Hardman, Ross, and James. That's it.
Wow. Yeah,
he only completed 15 passes, guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're going against, they're not bound down to what's going on at all. They're playing to win the game too.
There's stars on defense too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is like, okay, that's what you want to see. It's not no reserve time. These are guys, legit guys that you're going against, and these are legit guys that we throwing the football to. So I think as a staff, that's exactly what you wanted to see. That's why you play those 3 guys. The way that you play them. They're not getting any breaks. You know what? I got all series. I don't have to look over your shoulder who's coming in. There's no help. Okay. Justin Watts came in a little bit, but it's y'all. This is y'all show.
Mm-hmm.
This is you all's game. And so they didn't disappoint at all, man. I'm telling you, I'm serious. I would go into the game next week, and if these guys ain't in rotation, if 3 of those guys ain't top 4, then what we doing? That's what you was trying to do. I think that's what you wanted to show. The ability what these guys have, what you're going to get out of them. So can you imagine Patrick Mahomes back there throwing the football to these 3 guys as opposed to Blaine Gabbert?
Yeah. And one thing I will say is that Teja and I were saying when we were watching Gabbert play was like a lot of his ball is very high. That they were sailing on the guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that is it's a good way to have these guys like Ross, James, Hardman go in there. They're catching balls that aren't going to be like Mahomes will place the ball in perfect spots. Blaine Gabbert's not going to place it in perfect, beautiful spots. They were actually having to make plays. You talk about Ross having to climb the ladder. He had to do that. Not necessarily, may not necessarily have to do that with Mahomes, but he's actually showing, a little bit of his, what do we call it? The
catch radius.
Catch radius. Yes, that's what I was going for. Yeah, and he showed that. With Gabbert, and that's not necessarily you're going to have that problem with Mahomes, but you're showing these extra things with Gabbert, and these guys excelled today. So, like, you won't be surprised. So, essentially, you won't be surprised if these guys are playing next week.
If anything, if I'm a coach, I'm like, oh yeah, we need to have them in the rotation.
Yeah,
no question about it.
Definitely,
because think about it. Okay, Kadarius Toney has been hurt. Okay, MVS hadn't really been showing what he can do. Right, he hasn't been that guy this year. Okay. And you just got to deal with reality.
Yeah.
So if these 3 guys come out here and they show their ability, Rasheed Rice has been performing. Cole Hardman show why he should be playing. Justin Ross makes an argument of why he should be playing. Richie James has been solid since he's been there, since he's gotten back. And then Justin Watson been making plays. Those 5 makes sense to me.
Yep.
So I think you just, when you come into the next week, you build on it, right? And that's another thing that these teams that went against us, if we're playing the Dolphins, let's say we're playing the Dolphins, right? They haven't seen these guys. So now let's give them a different look for guys you haven't seen before, okay? It's the same thing. Well, now, like I said before, you might not have to single these guys up. You might have to do something a little bit different because you got some guys out here that actually catch the football really well. So, I mean, why not, man? Like I said, man, these are fresh legs. All 3 of them are really fresh legs. So
maybe that contingency of the Chiefs Kingdom fan base who said, "Oh, Andy's saving the good stuff for the playoffs." Maybe he was right, JD. Maybe these people were right.
man, if he could script the hurt thumb and going to jail and all that, they're a good one. They're a good one if they do that.
These people are going to come out and say, "See, we told you guys that he was saving it for the playoffs."
Like, okay.
It also looked really vanilla out there too, JD. So do you think not that you can hardcore game plan for a team before you know who you're playing, but do you think they already kind of started on next week's game, at least mapping out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's part of what you do in the game plan is because you look at the scenarios who you're gonna be able to play. But I think sometimes with this offense, with the guys we got, vanilla's good. I don't think it's a bad thing. You throw a couple of wrinkles here and there in, that's fine. Yeah. All it is just pitch and catch. If guys are doing what they're supposed to do, and it's all about moving the chains, that's what it is. That's that's the entire intent. The intent is to move the chains, move the ball to get to a place where you score touchdowns. And as long as we're doing that, we're going to be fine. And then with Pacheco running the football and CH running the ball, that's even better. I'm telling you, man, they was talking about scary teams in the playoff. The Chiefs are the ones you need to be worried about. I'm telling you. We match up well against everybody. There's nobody out there we cannot beat.
And for the first time in Mahomes' Reed tenure, we're being overlooked. We're not the team right now.
Right.
So that's something that's never really happened in the playoffs for us. So, I mean,
well, we're not the team to beat in TV land. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Teams, the coaches, they know. They look, we cannot let this team get any type of momentum coming into a game. There's still Patrick Mahomes, there's still Travis Kelce, there's still Andy Reid, there's still Chris Jones. Yep. They're Super Bowl champs for a reason. Okay. And maybe they might have found something. And what I'm looking at is the same thing the coaches are looking at too, okay. Well, they might have a couple of different weapons we haven't seen before. So, and I think you got to take it into account, man. If you sleep on anybody in the playoffs, then you need your butt kicked.
Yeah, that's honest. You really shouldn't be.
No, it should. Hey, don't look past nobody. At this, it's one and done. That's it, man. You lose, you're going home.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line. So,
every team out there is a threat to end your season. So you really shouldn't be.
Yeah, man. This is for the marbles. This got real. This is real.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.